Hello and welcome to SolarQuotes' first, what we're going to call this, vodcast?
Whatever.
I'm Finn Peacock, founder of SolarQuotes, coming not live, because we don't dare do the first one live, from the SolarQuotes offices in Adelaide CBD. And this is Ronald Brakels, our chief writer.
Hello.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the week on the SolarQuotes blog. But I'm going to cheat, because Ronald hasn't written 2 blog posts this week yet, and go back 8 days to Tesla pop-up store in Adelaide, quotes $9,300 Powerwall installed by killer robots. What does that mean, Ronald?
It means that they're going to get a T800 from the Terminator movie to put the solar panels, to put the Powerwall in your house and install it. Because I know this because I asked who would do the installation, and the Tesla guy said Skynet. As everyone who knows their 1990s science fiction movies, their Arnie movies, that involves Terminators.
So the Tesla salesperson literally told you the Powerwalls were getting installed by Skynet.
That's correct.
That's gold.
I'm 100% certain he meant to say Skybridge or some other company, not actually.
I think Skybridge do most of the installs for Tesla.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Well, that does seem more likely.
So $9,300, that's after the South Australian rebate.
Yes, so you're looking, without that, if you didn't want it, you're looking at about $15,300 for a fully installed Powerwall 2, according to the Tesla workers at the stand, with the word Tesla on their t-shirts. There's some, got an email from Tesla saying that may not actually be the price. I don't really understand
They did contact me rather urgently, and they wanted to clarify that they only use CEC accredited installers, not killer robots, to install their systems.
Right. I was worried there for a second. Yeah.
So either no one at Tesla has heard of T2, Terminator 2 the movie, or Tesla Australia hasn't got a sense of humour, or both. Because Elon Musk appears to have a pretty good sense of humour.
Oh yes, he does. I know. I've seen him smoke good dope. He's a great guy.
But that doesn't seem to have translated to Tesla Australia.
No.
Yes, they're a bit dry. Anything else about your experience at the Tesla pop-up store in Adelaide?
No, the people were very helpful. Maybe some of them need to brush up on the difference between Skynet and Skybridge. I talked to a second guy to try to clear it up, but he refused to give me any names or definite information. So I'd say he was probably the most highly trained Tesla employee, since he didn't give out anything solid.
What did they tell you about the famous Tesla roof tiles that I think were launched about 2 years ago?
I was told they might cost around $110,000, and so they were not available and not being offered. They're still under testing.
Right. That's quite an expensive. So that's probably what, 5-6 kilowatts?
Oh, it'd be
typical house.
I worked it out before. It'd be quite large if you're willing to cover all the, say, north-facing portions of your roof. Could have a high output.
Well, 10 kilowatts. That's $10,000 a kilowatt.
Yeah, that's huge.
$10 a watt.
What I heard from other sources is that only Elon Musk and some other bigwigs at Tesla have the solar tiles currently. No customers have them.
I don't want people to get the wrong idea about Tesla, about what I think about Tesla. I don't know about you, Ronald. I think they're a force for good. I think the solar tiles are a good idea, but I don't think they should have announced them as a product 2 years ago.
Or point out that they'd be cheaper than a normal roof.
Yeah, I mean that's just bullshit, right?
Exactly.
That's absolute bullshit. I think they should develop the product. I think they will get them hugely down in price with experience, but to announce them as a product 2 years ago was just, and to take deposits for it.
Yeah,
I think that's not on.
Not on. Nope. No. Yes. In the future, the building integrated PV will be big, I'm sure, but not yet. It'll come.
So what do you think about Tesla solar panels? That They've got a factory in Buffalo, New York?
Yes, they've got a factory in Buffalo, New York. They're making the panels to avoid the Trump tariffs on imported panels. So they'll all be for American use, I'm certain. You won't see them here.
Do you think we'll see a day when Tesla come to Australia and sell the whole package? Solar panels, battery, inverter, car charger, car,
Yes.
maybe even roof.
But at the moment, those Tesla panels will probably be made in China or another country. They're big in China. They're building a factory there apparently, rather than from the US. They'll probably keep those ones for US consumption.
Yeah, because that's what they've done with the cars, right? They've gone direct to the consumer.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be an interesting day. Any other observations from your visit to the Tesla pop-up store in Adelaide?
No, just if I need to go back there, I might shave, so they won't recognise me, and they'll talk to me instead of, yeah.
Do you think you have a duty to disclose you're from SolarQuotes when you talk to a Tesla salesperson?
I've tried this with, electricity retailers and other companies, and they don't tell you anything. So you're a bit dumb if you tell them straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tesla should give a consistent message whether they're talking to you, me, or the public.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in giving consumer information, and what Tesla employees tell you is important consumer information.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Should we move on?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at another blog post from early this week. This one written by Michael Block, our esteemed blogger. Just find it on the blog here. Here we go. Kidston cranking a heap of solar electricity goodness and cash. What does that mean?
That means while the project isn't finished yet.
Which project's that?
This is the Kidston pumped hydro scheme, where in the middle of nowhere in Queensland, there were two big holes in the ground. But this is the important point. One hole was higher than the other hole. So you can fill the top hole up with water, let it flow down into the hole at the bottom and generate electricity from that. Then, in the middle of the day when you've got lots of solar power, or late at night, very early in the morning when electricity is cheap, you pump it back up to the top. So for when electricity price is high, very early in the morning or in the evening, you let the water back down again, generate electricity.
Are these natural geological formations, or are they ex-mine sites?
Yeah, ex-mine site.
Right. And is this one a seawater?
No, it's hundreds of kilometres from the sea. So.
Okay.
But
my Queensland geography isn't.
Yeah, fair enough. But the good news is the rate of evaporation is slightly less than the rainfall in the reservoir area. So it'll stay full of water, but they are going to fill it up with groundwater.
Now, how expensive is this?
Cheap compared to a snowy river. Maybe I'd have to look at what just the pumped hydro amount is without the solar farm. That's maybe half the cost of the estimated hydro snowy 2. And once that budget blows out, maybe a quarter of the cost. And yeah, these budgets normally blow out.
Cheaper than a virtual power plant of residential home batteries?
No, it's not, because your households pay for the batteries. So from the point of view of the virtual power plant, it's going to be cheaper.
The virtual power plant will be cheaper.
If not now, soon, as batteries come down, home storage comes down in price.
What about utility scale storage compared to pumped hydro?
Because when you put the batteries in your home or your business, you've got your little captive market there, in that the home always has to pay a high rate for grid electricity, whereas utility scale, you only got your electricity arbitrage, and so you only get the wholesale price. So grid scale storage can definitely work, can be useful, but it's not going to be as big as the home and business storage.
Okay. So do you think this is a good project, the Kidston?
Oh yeah,
hydro?
yes, definitely. It's shows that how cheaply these small distributed projects can be done. It, as I said, it's kind of ideal with the positions of the reservoirs. There's not a whole heap of places that are that convenient, but yeah, it's a great idea.
Cool. So what else did we write about this week? Let's have a look. REC, that's a solar panel manufacturer, originally from Norway.
Yes, yes.
Now made in Singapore, China?
China, I believe.
China. Have boosted their solar panel product warranty from 10 years to 20 years.
Excellent news.
That's almost as good as some LG panels. Or is it all LG panels now?
All LG panels sold now.
Sold now, and well, 5 years off their 25-year product warranty, and SunPower and Tindo with some conditions.
Yes.
I think they're the only ones with the super long warranties, product warranties.
Yes, SolarWatts also has a great long warranty, but
Has anyone ever sold a
they
solar
might
watt
have
panel?
some conditions. I have to learn German and check.
Is anyone selling solar watt panels?
In Perth, some installed. There were some in Perth. I don't know if you can get them now at the moment. So
Yeah, they're certainly very rare if they are in Australia. Well, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing because the product warranty obviously is, in theory, much easier to claim than the performance warranty,
yes,
which has more holes in it than something with lots of holes.
a colander.
Colander. All right. How about BYD B-Box Pro 13.8? This was a few days ago. Added to the South Australian home battery scheme.
Yes, it's lithium ion. It's got a 10-year warranty, but they only guarantee 60% of the battery storage after 10 years.
That was the residential one, though, wasn't it? They haven't
Oh
actually,
yes.
We don't actually know what the
we
Pro
don't
one
actually
is.
know this one.
Do you think the South Australian government knows the details of the warranty?
They
They've approved it.
Yes, obviously when BYW applied for the subsidy, they would have sent them the details. So presumably someone in the SA government knows.
We've just got the warranty sent from BYD yesterday. So the warranty kilowatt hours, one cycle per day, is 42,000. So that's
42,000 over 10 years.
Yes,
That's pretty good.
it's not the full. If you would, it's not a full once per day cycle because it factors in degradation, but it's about 42,000.
Do we know how much it costs yet?
Yes, it's extremely cheap. It's about $8,000 retail.
So let's work that out. So $8,000 retail. We've just found out it's $8,000 retail for a BYD 13.8 kilowatt hour battery. So
Yes.
you're going to get a full $6,000 rebate on that. You're going to be buying that battery for $2,000 plus installation.
No, because I'm certain they would have given the price after the subsidy.
That sounds
Can
very,
you
very
clear
good.
that up, Jono?
They claim that that's the retail price.
For
That's
the
what
13.8 kilowatt hour battery.
that's what they told me.
That's freaking awesome.
If that's true,
Might get
that'd
one.
be awesome, but my natural inclination is to assume that's after the subsidy. If it's not, then every other battery manufacturer can pack up and go home because or lower their prices to match because that's
We
the
will
only one
clarify.
that would be bought.
We will clarify because if you can get a BYD B-Box Pro 13.8 kilowatt hour for $2,000 plus installation after the SA home battery rebate, it's going to be a very popular rebate and a very popular battery. Although, let's have a look at it. There is one thing. It's pretty ugly.
You know, for that price, you know, I
And
wouldn't
it
get
isn't
rid
an
of that.
all-in-one. It's only battery only.
Ah, so you need to get the battery inverter.
So you need to get the battery inverter.
So there's $3,000 probably.
Mhm.
2 to 3 grand. Okay.
So yeah, so the email from the PR company that manages BYD, so their answer directly verbatim to me is the Pro 13.8 RRP around 7,300 AUD plus 10% GST is $8,078 AUD.
Wow.
That's their exact wording.
So the dimensions of that big black box, just to give it some context, is 650 by 800 by 550 millimeters. So half a meter deep, 0.8 of a meter, 80 centimeters high. Or is it 800 wide? And 650 wide, I think. 650 millimeters wide. Big, ugly, and potentially very cheap. Although you do need to get a battery inverter and installation.
It's not ugly. It's utilitarian.
Would you put that on your mansion in the Adelaide Hills?
I put 3 of them in, and I would be fine with it. Actually, I'd put 2 in and just have 1 to keep like secret stuff in. You know, that I do want anyone else to find.
Like a frozen Han Solo.
Exactly what I was thinking.
That's like the kind of thing that would drop out of that box if you opened it. Well, that's potentially exciting if that's really that cheap. We will do the research and let you know next week sometime, probably. What else has been going on? Let's have a look. Large scale energy projects for the NT, that's good. Oh, here's one. Here's your latest blog post, Ronald.
Oh yes.
Solar installation audit. 20% of installs substandard.
Mm-hmm.
More than 2% dangerous.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
So, the Australian National Audit Office said, yep, we're going to go for the books of the Renewable Energy Target, which is in charge of the small-scale renewable energy scheme, which reduces the cost of putting solar panels on your roof, and also the large-scale renewable energy scheme, which covers wind farms and big solar farms. So they said it's okay, except for enforcement.
They didn't actually suspend. So they found a heap of, let's not cut to the chase. Let's not beat around the bush. Dangerous solar systems installed by accredited installers and licensed electricians.
Yep.
And the Clean Energy Regulator did not suspend one single.
Correct.
Installer.
There are hundreds of installers who have had every single inspection that's been done on their work come in as either substandard or dangerous. Nothing's been done.
And some of those were inspectors.
Yes, and many of the inspectors who are inspecting systems have only installed substandard or dangerous systems.
I think there might be a problem with the inspection scheme.
Yeah,
A few flaws.
Definitely think it could be improved. Definitely.
Now, to be fair, the Clean Energy Council, I think they've handballed a lot of these to the Clean Energy Council.
Yes, the Clean Energy Council is the body which is doing discipline, trying to keep these shoddy installers under control. They're doing better than they were in the past, but it's still a big problem because the CEC isn't the best body to do this. It can do it, it should do it, but there needs to be something else because industry bodies historically have had a lot of difficulty regulating their own members.
What was the example you used in the blog?
Medieval guilds?
What was the problem there?
Basically, if you are a member of a organisation and you're paying your fees, and maybe you're paying a lot of fees, maybe you're a big company, you're going to have influence in that organisation, and they're going to be depending on the money you're bringing in. So there's going to be. I'm not saying they won't discipline members,
but it is harder.
Yeah, it's harder.
Well, it's like SolarQuotes, right? We have, we make no secret of it. We have about 250 solar installer clients. They pay us money every month, and if they do the wrong thing, we do discipline them, and we will kick them out if it's warranted. But it's harder. I mean, it is harder if they're a client. Essentially, these people are clients of the Clean Energy Council if they pay them membership dues. Yeah. And every solar installer who's accredited has to give the Clean Energy Council some money. Yeah, well, that's. I guess. Well, the interesting thing for me was when I first saw your headline.
Yep.
Before I kind of just approved it for, if you like, or just gave it a little edit before publishing, as I do. I thought, oh, that's a bit harsh. That doesn't reflect well on the solar industry. Should I tone the headline down a bit? And then actually reading your post, I'm thinking, no, that it's not pretty, but it's true, and it's not good enough.
Yeah. In the first half of 2018, around 1/4 of all inspections found the solar systems were either substandard or dangerous. 2.7% were dangerous. That's terrible.
So the spin the industry's putting on it, or the Clean Energy Council is saying, but that's dropped from 4.7 last year.
Yeah, but if you go to the graph,
let's have a look.
Now, unsafe is the red line, you can see it's been pretty terrible since 2011 when the scheme started. The good news is, though, if you look at complies, the blue line, it seems to have gotten worse since 2013, put in the complies category. So things aren't as bad as it seems.
I mean, the thing that sticks out for me there
It's
is
still bad.
2018, there were more unsafe systems than there were industry best practice systems.
Yeah, that's awful.
An industry best practice means it meets every single checkbox, even the labels are on there, the correct labels are on there, and documentation is provided.
And it's above the standards for the industry, or at least everything meets the standards spot on.
Yeah, I mean, what I thought was sad was that the kind of the green media and the Clean Energy Council trying so hard to put a positive spin on this. That means they're less likely to take the action they need to take, because I think it's not good enough. I mean, it really is not good enough. I mean, yes, I believe that a well-installed solar system is probably safer than the rest of the electrics on your house, but we should be aiming for a lot higher than that.
Yes.
But we should aim for everything to be best practice. Yes, that will never happen, but that should be the bar.
When you put your money down, you are paying to receive a system that, at minimum, complies. Complies means everything is safe, and they've done everything to standard, although there can still be minor deviations, which aren't great, but basically you get what you're paying for, what you're supposed to get. Anything below complies, you're not meeting Australian standards, and you're not getting what you pay for, and it should be brought up to the compliance standard.
Seems to me that the Clean Energy Regulator handballing suspensions to the Clean Energy Council isn't working well enough.
No. With the system we have in place at the moment, both the Clean Energy Regulator and the CEC have to be working to rein in shoddy installers, because the CEC the Clean Energy Council, the Clean Energy Regulator is spending money to do the inspections, spending millions of dollars, and they're not making best use of that money because they're not kicking out or suspending people doing dangerous and substandard installations. It's a waste of money.
Why do you think the Clean Energy Regulator is not suspending anyone themselves? Because they have the power to do that, don't they?
Yes. It's difficult. I mean, you know yourself, it's difficult to kick out an installer, a client, if it's necessary. But if I was working in a company,
it's necessary we do it.
Yes, it's necessary. If I was working for the Clean Energy Regulator and no one told me, oh, send a nasty letter to this shoddy installer, I wouldn't do it off my own bat. I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't want to rock the boat. But you need to actually put people in there who are willing to do that and whose job is to do that. Otherwise they won't. It's too easy to be lazy.
I imagine it's the culture. I worked for the government for CSIRO for a year. Didn't last very long. People love writing reports, and it's a beautiful report, beautifully presented online with all the links to and all the summary points, and it links into the document. It's beautiful. But kind of useless to write a report and then not take any action. They like writing reports. They don't like making difficult decisions that could come back to bite them in the bum. Like suspending someone from their job is, credit to the Clean Energy Council. They do it. Is a big move.
Yes. People have to cover their behinds, and but some workplaces it's more important than others. So you need to change that.
So what's the one bit of advice? Not that they'll, I'm afraid, probably listen to you, Ronald. That you give the Clean Energy Regulator based on that report.
They can suspend anyone who's had 3 unsafe or substandard inspections. For God's sake, if you've got someone with 3 dangerous inspections, just suspend them. Give them a maximum 12 months. Keep people safe, at least.
I'd like to see a register. If it's all in secret now, I can't find out when I'm vetting an installer. I can see if they've got a mark on their electrical license. But I'd like to see a register of the companies that have employed them, whether they're an employer or a subcontractor, and the actual installer and the results of their inspections.
Yes.
I think that would be, some people might think that's harsh, but I think that would be that would be very useful in raising the bar.
Yeah, and it can be weighted by the number of installations they've done. So
And it will be transparent. If
Yes.
you know, even the good guys get pinged for documentation labels. If it's just that, then ping that. But you know, the documentation and the labels are important.
Yeah.
They stop people getting electrocuted. So interesting. So anything else happened this week, Ronald? I think that's the last post. Let's see what else Michael wrote about. Here we go.
ah yes,
Australian power project pushing for high efficiency, low emissions coal.
yeah. Which, well, the name is good, HELE, because that's what we'll end up with if we don't stop burning all this coal and oil and so on.
I think that's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, no one is going to build a new coal power plant in Australia. It won't pay for itself, even if it can pay for itself at the moment. In a few years' time, as more renewables come online, you'll have very low electricity prices in the middle of the day when there's lots of solar output, especially on weekends, or when the wind is blowing strong and the wind farms are producing well. And that's horrible for the economics of coal power because coal is usually very cheap fuel. Even if you make a coal plant which can switch off easily, which our current ones can't do, it doesn't save much money by shutting down. Because most of the cost of a coal power plant is the capital cost, and yeah, it's not going to make money. The banks are going to charge extra for interest, because they'll be worried that this project is going to go belly up, go bust. So yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Only with government shoveling taxpayers' money toward it.
in my former life as an electrical engineer, I worked on quite a few coal-fired power stations. The control systems, they are phenomenally complicated. People seem to think that you just boil steam and turn a turbine and create electricity. When you've got superheated steam flying around, they're phenomenally complicated. They do trip on safety quite regularly because you don't mess around with superheated steam. They're incredibly expensive to run, incredibly expensive to staff, incredibly expensive to build. This romantic idea that they're just a good, simple, reliable way to produce electricity. You compare them to a wind farm or a solar farm, pumped hydro, large-scale batteries. They're incredibly expensive, incredibly complicated, and they're killing the climate.
Yeah. They're so unreliable. Australia's had to put up the national electricity market. Sorry, Western Australia. Apparently, you don't count as part of the nation. They've had to build an emergency electricity market on top of the existing one, just to cover the possibility of a large coal power plant tripping, going offline, and losing the power it supplies suddenly.
Yeah. Because they're big, right? They can be
huge.
Gigawatt scales. And if certain trips have to bring down the whole unit.
Yep.
And you lose a gigawatt of power. Yeah, and you need to plan for that. Next one, 30 megawatt, 8 megawatt hour grid scale battery in SA, fully operational. Did you see that one?
Yes, I had a look at that. That's very.
Near the Eyre Peninsula?
I didn't look at the B-box one. It's a good problem.
Ronald.
I read it. It didn't sink in. This is interesting. I read this one carefully.
Michael will be pleased to hear that.
Yes. It's interesting because it gives out a maximum of 30 megawatts of power while only storing 8 megawatt hours of energy. So that means that it's lithium-ion batteries. That means it's very flexible. Maybe they're using the sort of batteries they use in electric cars, which can put out a lot of power very quickly. I don't know. And so it shows how flexible these systems can be. So they can use these systems. It can avoid the need to install new transmission lines, which can be a huge saving. It's great for ancillary services. That's doing things that help keep the grid stable. And I read that it can keep the 4,500 people in that area. It can give them backup power if there's say the grid goes down for 2 to 3 hours in the evening.
Yeah, right.
I worked it out. For their average electricity use, it could keep them going for maybe 8 hours if the battery was fully charged at that time.
Yeah, right. I mean, the main point here is that it's a very high power battery, 30 megawatts, relative to its energy storage, 8 megawatt hours. And that's because power is, at the moment, more valuable than energy when you've got a big battery that's there to support the grid, so you can pump out a crap load of power very quickly for a short period of time to support dips in the grid.
That'll change as more battery systems come online, but definitely the case at the moment.
Yeah. Interesting. Got anything to say about Australia's big four banks still sniffing around fossil fuels?
Yes. We're at a point, I think, where
There they are, bastards.
yes. At the moment we have no carbon price, we have no regulation against coal. The only thing preventing more coal mines being built or dug is that there's not a huge demand expected for it in the future. So the companies are wary about investing in coal, thanks to things like rooftop solar.
I wouldn't want my super fund investing in coal, I've got to say.
No, we need to do something about this for the children, for the next generation. 'Cause if we don't, the next generation is going to come round to the hermetically sealed shelter I'm building, break in and steal my canned food and cornflakes.
That's what you're worried about.
That's right, yes, exactly.
Okay, most recent post, posted by Michael this morning. City of Melbourne now 100% renewable energy powered. Now I believe
That's amazing.
you have a problem with this headline. You think it might be misleading.
Yeah, because anyone who isn't aware what the Melbourne Council is, what the City of Melbourne is, as just a very small area, one might end up thinking that it's the whole City of Melbourne, millions of people are now renewably powered. No.
What about if it said
That's
City
wrong.
of Melbourne Council now 100% renewable energy powered? Would that be better?
That'd be great if it's true. I don't believe it.
It's actually talking about the net amount of electricity that they use
Yes, so
is offset by renewable generation.
yes, so it should be City of Melbourne now 100% renewable electricity powered, or something like that. Yeah.
But not in real time.
No, it's be done in accounting, and in an accounting sense.
Yes, I think I agree with you. That headline is a bit misleading. Sorry, Michael. Love your work. But that is a bit misleading. As one commenter has already pointed out, although he was being quite blunt about it. 100%, what an absolute load of tripe. And I won't read the rest.
Yeah.
Not very true.
No.
But it's a step in the right direction. The council's
Yes.
building lots of renewable generation to offset their...
Definitely. I assume what they have done with their purchase of renewable energy is, I assume they're purchasing the LGCs, the large scale generation certificates, and then just sitting on them, burning them, whatever, so that all this clean energy they're using will be from new capacity. I assume that's what they're doing. I certainly hope it is. Because if it's not, and they're just buying clean electricity, then that just means other customers will be getting less clean electricity. And that's pretty pointless.
Yeah, what if they're specifically building renewable generation just for them?
Yes, if that's what they're doing, and it's not...
And surrendering, not using the LGCs, or STCs if they're under 100 kilowatts.
Yep. Then that's fine.
I bet they're using the STCs.
Maybe not. Maybe
should
not.
find out.
I've seen others, councils and so on, doing the right thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, but it should be checked.
Okay, so that was this week on the SolarQuotes blog. Ronald, what can we expect to read about next week?
I'll write about solar panel reliability and how, for good quality panels, you can expect them most of them, to go the distance and be above the minimum level their performance warranty provides after 25 years.
So a good one should last 25 years.
But if you buy a crap panel, it can fall apart in 3 years.
I've seen them fall apart in 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah. The Bill Buster specials.
Yep, that's right.
Yes, I have seen that with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Ronald.
Oh, thank you.
Did you enjoy that? Should we do it again next week?
I was a little nervous.
How are you feeling now?
Well, now that we've finished, I feel stressed. Coming down from that adrenaline high. Whew!
It's all over.
I need to take this fake beard off. It's pretty itching my face.
If anyone's watching, Thanks for watching. See you next week. Probably.
Jono, what glue did you get?